Hey everybody, we are in day 295 in our Bible reading plan, Jeremiah 39 through 41 and Psalm 82. And a lot of what Jeremiah has spent his life prophesying happens here in these chapters. And so the big idea is that even in the darkest times, God's plans continue to unfold and his faithfulness continues to sustain us. Maybe you wonder where God is when things are dark. He's still there. He's in control. He hasn't lost a minute, not in your life, not in the world. There's nothing that is a threat to the Lord. That is the most reassuring news I can share with you today. Now, everything happens according to plan. Jerusalem falls. All of the kings who have been repudiating the words of Jeremiah are living to regret it. In fact, Zedekiah watches his sons get killed and his eyes get removed. He tries to escape. They find him. But guess who's safe? Jeremiah. God protects him. Nebuchadnezzar gives word that he should be given a place to stay, and he's looked after. And it's not because the enemy likes him, because he said they were going to win, but because God's hand was on him. This had nothing to do with Nebuchadnezzar. This all had to do with the Lord. And then the Lord also watches to the Ethiopian who had stepped out by faith to protect the life of Jeremiah. And at the end of chapter 39, it says, "For I will surely save you, and you shall not fall by the sword." This is the word that the Lord gave to Jeremiah on behalf of the Ethiopian. He says, "Because you have put your trust in me, declares the Lord." And so he found protection as well. Now, again, that doesn't mean every time you trust God, your life's going to be spared. We know John the Baptist had his head chopped off, but that was also according to God's plan and way. And so chapter 40, Jeremiah stays in Judah. You remember he was given a choice, actually, and he decides to stay. And he's not surprised, and life goes on. But then we hear the story of this man, Ishmael, who does something he shouldn't do, because all of these things are happening according to the plan. They were already told by Jeremiah, accept this. This is part of your punishment. Just now dwell in the land, build houses, pray for the peace of the land. But instead, this Ishmael man wants to kill Gedaliah. And so the Gedaliah is the governor that Nebuchadnezzar had put over the remnant who stayed in Jerusalem. And he ends up killing him. Despite the warning, Gedaliah ends up dying. And so we see the rest of that story play out. Things are a mess in the book of Jeremiah at this point. But what is certainly not a mess is that all of these things were prophesied. They were warned. They were told this is going to happen. They just didn't listen. And the question for us today is, are we listening to the Lord? Are we accepting his will, even if we don't like it? And are we willing to do even the hard things that sometimes go against what we think should happen in life, like the idea of succumbing to the enemy in this setting and rejoicing in the Lord despite the fact that they have been taken captive. Again, there's a time to fight and a time to surrender. And the question is, how can you tell the difference? Well, it's by leading into the Lord, by listening to his word, by heeding the prophets. The word of the Lord is here for us to eat, to meditate on, and that is why we spend our time daily in it. Sometimes you're reading, well, what does that have to do with me every day? And for us today, it's an issue of trust. Do you trust God? And being with him every day builds that trust slowly but surely. So I'm praying for you that God will continue to strengthen your faith in him. Love you guys.